Good evening to all of you. We join you, we join all of you in your anxiety because of this 3 months old already pandemic. However, for us who believe in the true living God, we have a hotline that we could always dial to ask for help. When in sorrow, dial John 14, 1, 2, 3. Actually, I memorized that already. Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you, and if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also.
In addition to that, there's also a hotline. If you worry, you can dial Matthew 6:19-24. I will not read it because we have quite a lengthy subject today. And if you think that God seems to be far away from you, you dial Psalms 139. Before we start, I would like to set up our minds to our study this evening, and we'll first be favored with a special music. By the way, I promised you earlier this morning that we will do our online presentation outside because it's summertime and it's sunny and it's bright outside. However, when we came out earlier about an hour to set everything up, I noticed that it is bright, sunny, but it was quite windy. So it will affect our sound system, and I'm afraid that even the television might fly away because of the wind. So we'll have to do it here. Anyway, we still have a long summer to go, and hopefully by next week in our health presentation, we'll do it outside. Let us first be favored with a special music from our brothers and sisters in one of the church congregations in the U.S.
Wonderful Savior to me, He hideth my soul. It's hymn number 10. Turn there. Join me on that first verse. Every voice, please, on the first. Jesus, my
Come and join us. Shall we bow our heads for prayer? Father God, thank you so much for being a very wonderful Savior. What a beautiful song that was sung. What a beautiful promise that you hide our soul
Amen. That's a great start this
Yeah.
morning. Number 434.
in the depth of your love. Dear Father, with your love, you embrace us with your love. I know that there are lots of things that people have to worry about in this world at this time, especially because of this COVID-19 pandemic. But while waiting for your coming, while we are not freed yet from all these problems, we still have a lot of things to worry about, lots of things to reckon with. But because you've called us, you've promised us that because we obey you, we believe your words, we believe your commandments, we obey your commandments, you call us your children. And as your children, you told us not to worry about anything. Because like what the song said, you will hide our soul, you'll hide our bodies under your arms and the depth of your love. Dear Father, I pray now that you will continue to do that. And I pray that you will give us the power to be able to patiently wait for you and not to let go of you, but you, and please do not let go of us also. And do not allow your enemy to take us away from you. And so that when you come in the clouds of heaven, we'll be among those people whom you will save in your eternal kingdom. I pray that you will bless us as we conduct the seminar about health, because while here on earth waiting for you, we have to be concerned about our health, because this is one way of fighting these viruses and sicknesses that destroy people's lives here on this earth while you have not come yet. Forgive us from where we have fallen short of your glory, and dear Father, and please guide us, guide me in the words that I will be saying, so that these words will be a blessing to everyone who will hear it. I ask all this favor in Jesus' holy name I pray. Amen. Sorry about that. Okay. The topic that we're going to study this evening is about water. It seems to be a very common, very simple, but there are lots of things that we should know about water. As a matter of fact, while doing this research, I have learned a lot more things about water, which I did not know before. So let's go on with our presentation. Water. Here are amazing facts about water. First of all, less than 1% of the water supply on Earth can be used as drinking water. There's only about less than 1%. As you know, the Earth is mostly covered with water, but it's only a very little part that can be used for drinking. About 6,800 gallons of water is required to grow a day's food for a family of 4. An acre of corn will give off 4,000 gallons, that's 15,000 liters of water per day in evaporation. To produce fuel, it takes about 1 to 2.5 gallons of water for every gallon of product. Thus, the United States, which refines nearly 800 million gallons of water. A person can live with about a month without food, but only about a week without water. So that shows you that water is more important than food. If a human does not absorb enough water, dehydration will be the result. Here is the composition of a water molecule. The water molecule is composed of 2 parts hydrogen and 1 part oxygen. there are two kinds of water in this world, in this earth, okay? Two kinds of water, the salt water and fresh water. Americans use 5 times the amount of water that Europeans use. A small drip from a faucet can waste as much as 75 liters of water in a day. Frozen water is 9% lighter than water, which explains why ice water floats. Facts about water. There are 2 kinds of water. I have mentioned that to you. And there's also what you call deadly facts about water. What are the deadly facts about water? Water can be chemically synthesized by burning rocket fuel. So it could be used as fuel. As a matter of fact, I have heard of someone who have invented, actually he's a Filipino guy, invented gasoline with water to be able to run cars with water. But I don't know what happened to it because I believe that it never flew, it never was developed well, it was not commercialized big. I think it's because of so much competition with the oil companies. Overconsumption can cause temporary deafness. Overconsumption of water can cause temporary deafness, hair loss, and even death. Overconsumption of water is also dangerous. 100% of all serial killers and drug dealers have admitted to drinking water. Those are some deadly facts about water. Water is one of the primary ingredients in herbicides and pesticides. 100% of people exposed to water will die. Of course, yeah, some people could drown because that's why we have to learn how to swim, because 2/3 of the earth is water. Water is the leading cause of drowning. So that's probably what they mean. But more facts about water. Here, it's hard to read it, so I'm going to let this page go. There are fascinating and strange facts about water. Okay, there are about 1.5 billion cubic kilometers of water on Earth. That is 1.5 billion. If all that water was evenly spread over the Earth's surface, I would have a depth. It would have a depth of, if it's surface, it would have so much depth. 97% of the Earth's water is salty, is locked up in polar ice caps. So 97% of the Earth's water is salty, and it's locked up in polar caps. Those are probably the icebergs. I remember when we went to the North Pole, Oceania, the icebergs were so big, humongous, bigger than those that we saw in Alaska. So, and I'm sure it's salt water because it was in the ocean. Water is sticky. The molecules love to stick to things. The molecules of water, especially to each other. The molecules of water want to stick to each other. Water does not always freeze at 0 degrees. Water needs what are called nuclearation points before it will freeze. Most of the Earth's fresh water is underground. By far, the majority of the Earth's drinkable fresh water is found underground. Water is the only substance found on Earth as a liquid, solid, and gas. So water is the only thing on Earth that has three, that could be classified in 3 stages, the solid, gas, and liquid. Here, the states of matter of water, solid, gas, and liquid. What does water do for you? Interesting fact about water. Here are the things that the water does for us. As you can see, the human body is composed of mostly water. We are actually a body of water. It forms saliva. So water is important to form saliva. It keeps mucosal membranes moist. It allows the body cells to grow, reproduce, and survive. Without water, our cells will not grow, reproduce, and survive. It flushes body waste, mainly in urine. That's why we have to go to the toilet every now and then to urinate in order for the water to be flushed out. The dirt, the waste things on the water are flushed out through urine. It lubricates joints, and it's needed by the brain to manufacture hormones and neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters, I'm sorry. It regulates body temperature. That's why sometimes we have to sweat. That's why sweating is good, because it also gets rid of toxins and waste in our body. It acts as a shock absorber for brain and spinal cord. And it converts food to components needed for survival and digestion. So water is very important. That is why it is said that why it's very important, because as you can see here in this diagram, that the one represented blue, those are all water. The component of our body is about 75% water and only about 20 to 25% composed of non-water, not water. Water serves as a number of functions in the body, and the other part, the main elements that compose the human body that includes water are these. So these are the very important elements in the body that should be maintained in order for us to live healthy. Oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, and everything, and that goes along, that it circulates in our body through the water. Here are some more facts about water. First, you can get drunk on water. If you drink so much water, you can get drunk on it. And you need water more than you need food. As I mentioned, fresh, clean water is absolutely vital for human life. Another one of the interesting facts about water is that you can live without food for about 1 month as long as you have water, but you can only live without water for less than a week. So in less than a week, without water, you can die. That's why, which is more important? Water is more important than food. And it also says here, did you know that hot water freezes faster than the cold water? Another interesting fact about water is that warm water in certain circumstances freezes faster than the cold water. In 1963, a student in Tasmania noticed that hot ice cream mix froze quicker than the cold. The student physics teacher ridiculed him at the time, but the student Ernesto Merpimbia proved the point by experimenting with pellets of pure water. He proved that the water will indeed freeze faster than cold, and in his discovery is now known as the Merpimbia effect. The average adult needs to drink at least 8 glasses of water to avoid dehydration. We need water. Just a 2% reduction of water in the body can lead to a 20% decrease in physical and mental performance. In a recent survey, it was found that 65% of all children drink too little water. If you drink little water, you could start, some parts of your body could start to go wrong, or some could start to give you problems, because as I mentioned, we have to maintain the 70%, 70 to 80% water that is in our body. Depression and fatigue can be brought on by lack of water. No wonder why if I do not drink enough water, sometimes I feel fatigue, I feel tired fast, and feel anxious, and and feel uncomfortable. But with plenty of water, I feel active all the time. So that having enough water is good for you. Water doesn't always freeze at 0%. Water needs what are called nucleation points before it will freeze. These are things like impurities of the water, bubbles. So if you see water has a lot of bubbles, that means there's a lot of foreign bodies in that water, because very pure water will have no bubbles. That's why if you see an ice with so many bubbles, that means that there are lots of contaminants in that water. And very pure water will stay a liquid even below 0% without freezing, and become a super cold liquid instead. So very pure water will not freeze even below 0%, 0 degrees centigrade. It will just be a very cold liquid. So if the water freezes, that means that water is not very pure. These are the ice waters that freezes. Most of the Earth's fresh water is underground. By far, majority of the Earth's drinkable fresh water is found underground. Water is the only substance found on Earth as a liquid, solid, and gas. We mentioned that earlier. The average American uses up to 100 gallons of water per day. Here, water is the best health tonic that there is. It's the best thing to drink is water. You can of course get water from food that you eat and from other beverages that you drink, but often food and drinks contain other ingredients like salt and caffeine that negate the positive health effects of water. That is why there is simply no healthy alternative to drinking your 8 glasses of pure water every day. Do you know some other interesting facts about water? Well, we will continue on, and if you have any more questions, you can send your question, because I can do some more research about water. But there are 10 reasons why we need to drink water. Water is the substance of life. Life cannot exist without water. We must constantly be adding fresh water to our body in order to keep it properly hydrated. Water can be a miracle cure for many common ailments such as headaches, fatigue, joint pains, and much more. We can go for weeks without food, but only 3 days without water. So without water, we can only go for 3 days. But without food, we can go for about a month, as long as we have water. I noticed that when I was not drinking enough water, I have all kinds of pain. Pain in the back, pain here in my legs. I thought I already had all kinds of sickness already, arthritis or rheumatism or all kinds of things. But when I have found out about water, I drank a lot of water, pure water. I noticed that I was able to get rid. A lot of those pains have been eliminated. The body is composed of 80% water. Water makes up nearly 85% of your brain, about 80% of your blood, and about 70% of your lean muscle. Because there are a lot of tissues that have less water, the average is about 50%. Every organ and tissue and cells of our body contain water. As you can see, we have to maintain that level of water in our body, 70-80%. That's why we have to drink at least 8 glasses of water. Otherwise, some parts of our body will start to go, they will start to give us problems. here. The composition of the water in this important parts of our body. In the brain, the brain consists of 85% water. So if you lack water, you could start having brain problems like Alzheimer's disease and so on. 80% of our blood is water. That's why if you want your blood to be active, to be able to continue flowing regularly, you need to drink plenty of water. Our muscles are 70% water. So you have to drink more water. That is the advice. It is difficult for body to get water from any other source than water itself. Soft drinks and alcohol steal tremendous amounts of water from the body. Other beverages such as coffee and tea are diuretic, therefore stealing precious water from the body. So if you drink other drinks besides water, or that is not water, instead of your organs to function well because of the water, they will feel dehydrated. Because I will go further, I'll tell you later on the effects of drinking, especially beverages instead of water. A vital rule. Water plays a vital role in nearly every bodily function. Lack of water is the number one trigger of daytime fatigue. Lack of water. So if you're always feeling fatigued, I believe you are not drinking enough water. You have to drink water in order to overcome that daytime fatigue. If you're always feeling sleepy, like you want to sleep all the time, or you need a nap all the time after lunch, then you probably need to drink a lot of water. A mere 2% drop in body water can trigger fuzzy short-term memory. If you're starting to lose, to be forgetful, lose memory, that's probably because your brain does not have enough water that it needs. It gives trouble with basic math and difficulty focusing on computer screen or on a printed page. If you're starting to have problem, even your eyes, it's probably because you lack water. Water transports and metabolizes. Water is essential for proper digestion, nutrient absorption, and chemical reactions. The carbohydrates and problems that our bodies use as water are metabolized and transported by water in the bloodstream. Without enough water, our bloodstream can transport all those things that have to be distributed all over our body. No less important is the ability of water to transport waste materials out of the body, even our waste materials. If we are feeling, what you call that, you cannot move your bowel well, that means that you're not drinking enough water. If you're having problem moving your waste out of your body, that means you're not drinking enough water. And also, water is essential in a way for proper circulation of the body. The levels of oxygen in the bloodstream are greater when the water is well hydrated. So it helps even the in our bloodstream, we need a lot of oxygen, especially with this virus coming. We need to drink plenty of water with the virus around, coronavirus. The more oxygen the body has readily available, the more fat it will burn for energy without the presence of oxygen. The body cannot utilize stored fat for energy efficiently. Not only will the body burn more fat when well hydrated, but because there are increased oxygen levels, you will also have more. You will also have more energy. So it could also contribute with weight loss. If you have enough water, it will be easier to burn your body fat. It will be easier to digest your food and so on. But without lack of water, you can start gaining weight also. Here, it removes toxins. Water helps remove toxins from the body, particularly from the digestive tract. Water suppresses the appetite naturally and it helps the body metabolize stored fat. So this is what third time I've mentioned that water metabolizes stored fat, because if you do not metabolize the stored fat in your body, you gain weight. So that's why people who gain weight, it's possible that they're not drinking enough water. Studies have shown that a decrease in water intake will cause fat deposit to increase, while an increase in water intake can actually reduce the deposit. Oh, that's very clear out there. This is a very good lesson for weight loss. A lot of people are learning, spending thousands of dollars to lose weight. But here, it's only water. Drink a lot of water. In 37% of Americans, the thirst mechanism is so weak that it is often mistaken for hunger. One glass of water shut down midnight hunger. Thanks for almost 100% of the dieters studied in the University of Washington. So, if you feel hungry, that's why people gain weight, because they always feel hungry. And the reason why they're always feeling hungry is because they don't have enough water in their body. So, but if you have plenty of water, sometimes you don't even feel hunger. You don't feel hungry, and you have a lot of energy also. Water remove harmful toxins from your digestive tract. We have to get rid of that, the toxins from our digestive tract. Otherwise, it becomes poison for us. Dangerous, we can get sick. Water regulates cooling system. Water regulates the body cooling system. Sports drinks are useful when consumed after or during vigorous and prolonged exercise in high heat. But most experts agree that water works better than carbohydrates or sugared beverage for moderate exercise. For instance, if you drink 12 ounces of plain water, your body will absorb 8 ounces of it within 15 minutes. So, a lot of people think that they should drink these energy drinks, or in order when they are tired, when they do exercise. But it is said that it's even better to drink water instead, because by drinking water, your body will right away absorb about 8 ounces of that water within 15 minutes. Chronic cellular dehydration. Consistent failure to drink enough water can lead to chronic cellular dehydration, the condition where the body's cells are never quite hydrated enough, leave them in a weakened state. So if you always feel weak, you're having headaches, you feel bad, you feel stressed out, or you have a lot of anxiety, it is because one of the causes here, number one cause is the lack of water. So almost all the problems in the body is associated to the lack of water. Dehydration can happen in winter. Even on winter, some people say, I don't drink enough water, a lot of water now because it's winter. No. Even in winter time, you should drink a lot of water. Dehydration can occur at any time of the year, not only during the summer months when it is hot. Dehydration that can also occur during winter. It can dehydrate the body even quicker than when it is hot. So you can even be dehydrated during winter faster than when it's hot. When you are dehydrated, you tend to eat more. No wonder why on winter people seem to have a lot of appetite. They gain weight because they eat more, and the reason is because they do not drink enough water. So general rule is that due to the fact that everybody is different, has different rule, we often hear about drinking 8 ounces of water per day can be misleading. We need to drink half our body weight in ounces of water every day. to provide the body with its minimum water replacement requirements. Triple the intake of water for better results. So it is recommended to drink 8 glasses of water, but it's even said by study of science that we have to drink half the weight of our body. So if we weigh 160 pounds, we have to drink at least 80 pounds amount weight of water. That is more than 8 glasses of water a day. That is about triple, 24 glasses of water a day. That is what is recommended if we want to really have an optimum feeling, like optimum use of water in our body. Now, there are ways to, you do not want to drink dirty water because it's dangerous too. So there are methods on how to purify your water. Purifying water can be done through a variety of methods, like using a filter, treating with chemicals, or boiling. Water should be purified whenever you have reason to believe that it could be contaminated. Typically, this is necessary if you are camping in a wilderness of your home, or your home water source has been compromised. Whatever the reason, purifying water will remove any sediments and contaminants, as well as kill germs, so that you can enjoy clean water without worrying about getting sick. So let me share with you some ways on how to clean your water. 1. Remove the large particles in the water. One way of doing that is straining the water, especially if you are in the forest or in the jungles or far from home. For water that is contaminated with large particles, the pebbles, insects, plant matter, or dirt, you can strain them out from your water, strain out all the contaminants. Another way, of course, is strain the water for water that's contaminated with large particles like pebbles, insects, plants, and so on. You can strain out the contaminants with here. Straining of water like this will only remove large particles. This is only like remove the contaminated large particles, but and heavy metals. So I've discussed that earlier. Make your own filter. You can also make your own water filter to remove large sediment from the water. Use birch bark. That's kind of tree birch, curled into a cone in place of the bottle and cup. I've never done that, but it says here, use a shirt or a towel in place of the coffee filter. Use nuts, rocks, and grass in place of the filtration material. So if you have no other means to do it, you can use these things. Nuts, roots, grass, just to filter your water. Use sedimentation. When you don't have access to anything that you can use to filter the water, you can remove large particles from water by letting it settle. Collect the water in a bowl of jar. Leave the water to settle for 1 to 2 hours. During this time, heavy particles will sink to the bottom and the lighter material will float on top. To remove lightweight particles, skim them from the surface of the water. To remove heavy sediments, and slowly pour the water into a clean bowl of the jar. Stop pouring before you reach the bottom of the water. And another way is clean the water with a small amount of bleach. So you can even put amount, because bleach has chlorine, and chlorine kills bacteria. Bleach can be useful to kill viruses and bacteria in the water, but it is important to use only small amount to avoid poisoning yourself. Bleach must not be expired in order to work effectively to purify water with the chemicals. So here's the measurement. Fill a pitcher or jug with water. Add 4 drops, 1 to 1/16 teaspoon of bleach per quart of water, and then shake or stir the mixture. Let the mixture sit for about 30 minutes. So you can do that. It might even help in this coronavirus because bleach is poison for viruses. Another way, purify with iodine. Plain liquid iodine can also be used to kill pathogens in water, but many people are turned off by the taste. To clean water with iodine, simply collect the water and add 2% iodine solution. Stir in 4 drops of bleach per quart of water and let it sit for 30 minutes. So, and here's another one, filtration of contaminant. Use a commercial water filter. In our home, we use here the centralized reverse osmosis, which is very good because it purifies the water. A commercial water filter is the easiest and most effective way to filter water, pathogens, metals, and other pollutants from the water. These filters contain a special material like charcoal, carbon, ceramic, sand, and cloth that are specially designed to filter out dangerous pollutants. There are many different types of filters you can use, including 1. The whole home filters that filter all the water that comes into your home. Point of use filters that get installed in specific taps and filter water that comes out of your faucet. Countertop filters that you fill manually with water. Water bottles and straws with which is built-in water filters. And handheld UV water purifiers that kill bacteria, viruses, and contaminants from small quantities of water. You know that there is a commercial, commercially sold product now called the Zero Water. That's good because by using that, it removes the contaminant and your water becomes zero reading. Filter out pathogens with pure trees. Certain plants are effective in removing pathogens from the water, like these leaves of pine trees. Pine trees are among the best. Remove viruses and bacteria from your water. Remove a small branch from a pure pine tree. Strip the darts from the stick and place the bar sticks in a bucket. Slowly pour the water, letting it trickle into the stick and into the bucket. As the water flows over the sap inside the stick, the sap will trap and collect pathogens in the water. Oh, we have a lot of pine trees here in our property here, so maybe I can try that also. But no wonder why one time we have there was a seminar here done by the natural medicine students, and they were using the pine tree to purify the water, filtering the water through here other ways. Pathogens beside the pine tree. You can also use these leaves here. What kind of leaves are these? Slowly water, letting it trickle into the stick and bucket. So it's similar, it's the same as the pine tree. Here, we are also advised that we can remove heavy metals with cilantro, just as pure trees are effective at removing pathogens. So too is cilantro excellent for removing heavy metals from water. Fill a pitcher with water and place a handful of cilantro leaves into the pitcher. Stir the water and let the leaves sit in the water for at least an hour. Remove and discard the cilantro before drinking the water. Cilantro has been shown to be effective at removing lead and nickel from water, but it has not been tested for other heavy metals like arsenic and mercury. So cilantro is also useful in cleaning your water with heavy metals. So here, more information about the cilantro. Filtering water, place the bottom of the day pot on the top of a jar and bucket with a similar sized opening. Fill it with clay. Fill the clay pot with water. Allow the water to soak the pot and trickle through the clay, and letting the jar below. Okay, here clay can be used also. Okay, clay and ceramics are porous materials that allow water to drain through, but they trap bacteria, protozoa, and sediment because they trap these contaminants. Clay pots can be used to purify water, especially water contaminant with E. coli, to purify water with a clay pot. So the clay pot can also be used. And another way is boiling the water. Boil the water to remove the contaminants. And another way is distillation. Distilled water, because where the water let the fumes of the water go up, and that is being collected, and that now become pure water. There are distillers that sell this distilled water. 6 ways you can have to clean your water. Not only do we clean our water that we drink, but in order to keep our water clean, especially in our surroundings, we have to try to maintain clean surroundings in our house, around in our property, so that the water that is absorbed through the faucet, through the water filtration system, even of the city or town where you are, can be kept clean. Here's what you do. 1. Take a hard look at your outdoor surface. Storm water flows across the hard materials like concrete, asphalt, and storm drains, bringing all the dirty stuff it picked up along the way. Stop these pollution streams on your own property by using gravel, paver stone, wood, or other porous materials wherever possible. It is hard surface. The hard surface is unavoidable in case of a driveway. Dig a shallow trench along the border and add plants or gravel to catch the runoff before it travels too far. So whenever you check your surroundings around your house, if you see some muddy place there's water sort of stuck there, dormant water especially, you have to find a way, make a small trench around so to let the water go. Otherwise, if it stays stagnant there, it gathers germs, bacteria, and viruses that could cause people in your area, in your family, could get sick. So clean the surfaces around your house. Remember also that your toilet is not a trash can. Never flush non-degradable. Never flush non-degradable products like baby wipes or plastic tampons, applicators. They can throw a huge wrench into the sewage treatment process and wind up to littering beaches and water. Who wants to walk along a beach and step in their own garbage and never dump old pills in the toilet? Either instead bring them to a local pharmacy that has a take-back program. You gather them and let the garbage people pick them up. Do not throw them in your toilet bowl, because it's absorbed by the, and then it could be absorbed by the water also, and you drink that water back, because it goes through the filtration system, and you could be drinking your own dirt. Would you like to do that? Of course not. But if you throw them in with the garbage, the city garbage that collects it, they have this big incinerator that they burn them, and they burn these contaminants that are dangerous and poisonous. Not only the toilet bowl, also don't make your sink dumping place for garbage. Remove the items, especially chemicals, bleach or whatever, the poisonous materials. Don't throw them there, because it could also poison the water, even if it is filtered or clean. It could still, the poison could still linger around the water. Pick up after FIDO. That's why in some decent high-class subdivision, when you walk your dog, you have to carry this bag with you, because it's not advisable to let the dogs just litter and throw their dirt, their manures all over, because that is also absorbed by the water. If there are manure out there by the animals and it rains, the train will go through those waste of the dogs and all kinds of animals, and it goes to your water, and you could be drinking it back too. That's why all the people of the world should cooperate in cleaning the environment, so that, and this is probably why there's so many sickness now, so many viruses that are appearing, that are being discovered because of so much dirt. People do not worry, especially in some third world countries. They don't care. They just let their dogs go around and roam around, and they defecate all over the place, and nobody removes them, and sometimes people even step on them. That's terrible. And in some rivers, sometimes they put their toilet on the river, and then you swim in the water, and sometimes you're swimming with all those dirt. Be more careful, car owner. If you're a car owner and you have some old car, especially, you see the oil dripping, the leak of oil, leak of things from your car. This also contaminates the water, and then you could be drinking it back. This the dirty water. And there are 10 reasons also to consume water instead of soft drinks. Like I mentioned that earlier. Instead of soft drinks, drink water. Soft drinks is still water from the body. Let me elaborate on that. They work very much like a diuretic. Diuretic. When you drink soft drink, it's like you drink diuretic, which takes away more water than it provides to the body. Just to process the high levels of sugar in soft drinks steals a considerable amount of water from your body. Here, listen to this. To replace the water stolen by soft drinks, for 1 glass of soft drink that you take in your body, you need 8 to 12 glasses of water for every 1 glass of soft drink in order to replace the water needed by your body that has been stolen. So soft drink is still the water from your body. So if you're drinking 8 glasses, if you already took 8 glasses of water in one day, and then you took 1 glass of soft drink, then you have to drink another 8 to 12 glasses of water again. So you have to drink now 16. For 1 glass of soft drink, you need to drink 16 glasses of water in order to flush out the toxins that you place in your body because of that soft drink. So if you drink 2 glasses of soft drinks, you will need to drink 24 glasses of water, because you need 8 to 12 glasses of water to flush out the soft drink that you took. Because the soft drink usually has a lot of sugar. It has about 10 to 12 tablespoons of sugar. See, our body is already made of sugar. Everything turns into sugar. When you the food that you eat, everything turns into it goes to your skin and everything. So you don't need that sugar. That's why people become diabetic, because they do not know this. They drink instead of drinking 8 glasses of water, they drink 8 glasses of soft drinks. Wow, it's terrible. Here are the soft drinks, all kinds of soft drinks. Soft drinks are all the same. They all have plenty of sugar. Okay, soft drinks steal water from your body. Number 2, soft drink never quench your thirst. If you drink soft drink, you want to drink more, especially with sugar. You want more, so your thirst will never be quenched. Soft drink elevated levels of phosphate. Phosphate in soft drink, which is bad for you. Soft drinks can remove rust. That's why you said there's a story about Coca-Cola. If your tire, the rims of your tire is rusty, you throw Coca-Cola and brush it off. It will remove it. So just imagine what it's doing inside the organs of your body. And the sugar crash, the high amounts of sugar in soft drinks causes your pancreas to produce an abundance of insulin and leads to a sugar crash, a chronic elevation and depletion of sugar, and insulin can lead to diabetes and other imbalance related to disease. This is particularly disruptive to growing children, which can lead to lifelong health problems. So you only give soft drink to your children if you do not love them. Because if you don't love your children, give them soft drink, because eventually they will have lifelong problems with their bodies. Just give them water. If they are thirsty, give them water. Stop giving them those soft drinks, orange juice, Coca-Cola, and you go to a restaurant and give them soft drinks. Don't, because you are ruining them. You tell your child you love them, but you keep on feeding them with soft drinks. What are you doing to your children? Or these hamburgers and fast food. The high amounts of sugar causes your pancreas to produce an abundance of insulin, which leads to sugar crash. That's why some people, they exercise, they have big bodies, but they're always feeling sick, like this guy here, because they keep on after exercising, they drink this, they take these beverages. It's ruining their health. These soft drinks, they create poor digestion. If you want to have problem with your digestive system, you drink soft drink. Diet soft drinks contain aspartame. Soft drinks are extremely acidic. They are very acidic also. You could develop cancer. Acid and more acid, more soft drinks can extremely acidic. The human naturally exists of a pH of about 7. Soft drinks have a pH about 2.5, which means you are putting something into your body that is hundreds of thousands of times more acidic than your body is. Disease flourishes if you are acidic, if your body is acidic, you are a candidate for all kinds of sickness. Cereal, acidic food deposit acid waste in the body, which accumulates over time in the joints and around the organs. No wonder why you start to have body pains. The worst thing, it says number 10, soft drinks are the worst thing you can possibly put in your body. Do not even think of taking a sip of a soft drink when you are sick with colds. If you are sick and you start taking the soft drink, your cold will, your recovery will be delayed. And especially now with this coronavirus, we need to make our immune system strong. Okay, take lots of sweet things like soft drinks and sweet food, because that will weaken your immune system. If you have flu, it will worsen the flu. It will only make it that it's much harder for your body to fight the illness. It's hard. If you have corona, if you're hit with coronavirus, and you keep on drinking soft drinks or sweet, taking sweets in your body, it will be harder for your body to fight it. That's why I've noticed a lot of people who are being compromised in this coronavirus are people who are a little bit heavy. They have a little bit overweight. Plain liquid iodine can also be used to kill pathogens in water, but many people are turned off by the taste. You know, I mentioned that earlier. And here are some, I know where I told you, I mentioned earlier that our study is a bit lengthy this time, but let me just go over this very fast for you. It's small printers, it's hard to read. Here are more amazing facts about water. There are two kinds of water, I mentioned that already. Americans consume a small drip of faucet. I think we covered all of this. The earth is a closed system that rarely loses or gains extra matter. Essentially, this means that same water existed on earth millions of years ago that is present. That is why it is even believed that the water that we drink now, because the water, it just circulates, it goes to the ground, it's filtered, it goes up again, and then the rain comes and it evaporates, it's filtered, comes back, rain again. So it's just circulating over and over, rotate, and then, so it is believed that the water that we drink now are the same water, is the same water that has been drunk by the people of long ago, the early people. They have been drunk by dinosaurs, they said, and animals, and we drink them. But it's already purified because God has means of purifying the water through nature and these other means that people are inventing. But the water remains, the water that there is just being recirculated over and over. So let us take care of our water because water is very important, and let us drink enough water in order for our body, because as I have mentioned, our body has about 75 to 80% composition of water. If you do not drink enough water, and that water is very important in order for all the organs of our body to function properly. If you do not drink enough water and your brain does not get enough water, something will go wrong with your brain. If the water is not distributed, enough water is distributed in the muscle, you will have muscle ache, muscle pain. If it's not distributed properly in your digestive organ, you will have digestive problem. So that's why people come up with all kinds of problems, sickness, because of the lack of water. I believe that if you eat natural food as advised in God's holy book here, in the manual that God gave us, and you drink the 70 to 80% water, maybe you won't get sick. So from now on, my friends, stop drinking these soft drinks. I know you'll have a craving for it, especially if you are so used to it already. But instead, drink pure water all the time. Drink water. That is the only thing. It will save you money also. You don't have to buy those soft drinks. Plus, it is more healthy for you. Thank you so much for joining us again during this time. Let me just share with you some of the things that give us. We also, even if we're on lockdown, we have some fun once in a while. The other day, we went to a grocery store. Here, that's my wife there, with her mask. I also had my mask. It's funny nowadays, you know. Everybody's wearing masks. Before, if you are wearing mask and you go inside a bank, they get scared. They stop you. They won't let you in because they think you're going to hold them up. But nowadays, if you try to go inside a bank and you're not wearing mask, they will not let you in. They want you to wear mask. So the world has been changed now. And water is very important because without water, we cannot all. Of course, I was talking about sweet food, but here my wife bought halo-halo, and she tempted me to eat this halo-halo. It tasted good, but then
In a hot summer.
I was aware that I have to drink. That's why after that I have to drink a lot of water in order to flush out all the sugar that was taken to the body because of the halo-halo. See, Anyway, thank you so much for listening, and I hope you can join us again in our presentation again next time. And let us see if we can find good music here that we can end up our program with.
He's number 537 in your hymnals. I'm dwelling in Beulah land. We'll sing all the verses tonight. Number 537. Far away the noise of strife. Number 537.
This will be
lift up
our
the
closing
voice
song
on that
for our
first
program.
verse. Far away the noise of strife.
Say goodbye to our friends. Shall we bow our heads for prayer? Father God, thank you so much for allowing us to be able to spend the hours of the Sabbath day with you. And during these remaining hours, we're still spending it under your care, dear Father. Thank you so much for the time that you have afforded us again to be able to share to our friends these not only the wonderful words of saving the lost, like we have done this morning, but also these wonderful words of helping people be able to fight diseases and to keep our bodies healthy. We know we have to take care of our body because you said that our body is your temple and we would like it to remain to be your temple until you come. Thank you so much, dear Father, and we are now going to be dismissed from each other. And before we do so, I pray that you will distribute and give to us the blessing that you have intended for us today. We ask all this favor. In Jesus' holy name, I pray. Amen. Thank you so much, my friends. And we want to say goodbye to you now. And we hope to see you again.
Goodbye.
We hope to see you again on Saturday, 10 o'clock in the morning, Toronto time. And if you...
And morning in Philippines.
Yeah. If you are benefiting from our presentation or from the knowledge and information that we are sharing with you, please invite your friends to join us next time, and also share our presentation that you will find in Facebook, and soon it will all be on YouTube also. Thank you so much again, and have a wonderful week, and have a blessed week this week. Remember, always call on God, call on His hotline for any problem that we have, and whatever happens to us, even during this pandemic, we should trust our Lord, because He knows what is best for us. Thank you again, and may God bless all of you. Good night.